everyone, Jeri Bellini here from Recycled Parts for Art, and today's video is a design team challenge for Gina Ahrens. And the prompt for this month's challenge is Color It, and it is the month of December, so this is the last challenge of the year, 2017. Anyway, I thought that it might be fun to make a mini little portable coloring book that I could throw in my purse. And, you know, if I'm going to the doctor, and I know, you always wait in the doctor's office, I could have this little coloring book. So I'm going to be using some of the things from my Etsy shop. And I sell these bingo cards there, and they're very, very thick. And so I'm going to use them as the cover. And you can see they're pretty small. And I am also going to be using leftover paper from previous projects. So I have this bucket. When I cut paper, I have like the cutoffs, the leftovers, I put it in here, and this is all mixed media and watercolor paper. And so I pulled out some and Bristol paper, stuff like that. So it's got a nice thickness and it will hold up well to, any kind of coloring markers and whatnot. So I'm going to pick a bunch of these papers out, and I'll be back in a second and we'll get started on this little project. All right, we are back, and I wanted to show you that I used my random paper, and so this is all different types of paper, and I cut a 4.5 by 4.5 inch square, and then I used my, I love this We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. I love it. I love it. Anyway, I used the corner chomper and I made the ends round because the bingo book ends are round, and I thought, it would just look cute. So here's how it's going to look. And yeah, I love it. I purposely wanted a square. So the bingo card is not exactly square. It's a little bit more of a rectangle, not much. And I wanted them square for a couple reasons. I have been doing some Zentangling lately, and that lends itself to the squares, the tiles. So I thought I would mix some Zentangle in with this coloring, this plain coloring. So I'm going to be using Gina's beautiful stencils, and I've got quite a few of them here that would lend themselves to coloring. So I'm going to, this one's probably too big. No, actually it probably fits. Oh my gosh, I think it will fit on there. But we'll see if I'll use that one or not. So I'm going to actually draw. Okay, here, let's just get started. I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. I like this one, so we'll start with that one. All right, so I'm just going to work on one card at a time, and I am using a waterproof marker so that I don't have any problems with it smearing, and I am actually going to draw my stencil. I'm not using paint, and I'm thinking about this. Okay, so a lot of you know, if you follow me, that I do these things called quirky characters, and I did a video last month for Gina, and I used my quirky characters. I used her rubber stamps, and I made quirky characters with them. And so I might be doing something similar with this. So I am going to sketch the outline of this cool orange slice shape. And then when I start to work in my little journal, this actually might become a quirky character, or what I like to call my scribble art. So I am placing this in a particular spot on this paper, and it's kind of up towards the top. All right, and I'll show you in a second. All right. Okay, so I didn't put it right in the middle of the page. I put it a little towards the top so that I can now, if I want to make a quirky character, I can make a neck and a body and just have some fun with it. So I think that's what I'm going to do with some of these stencils. I'll do them off camera because it'll be terribly boring for you to watch me draw. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what else I'm thinking for my little book. All right, I wanted to pop back on because it's snowing out and I'm losing my light, and you know, I'm always losing my light. So, I started out by stenciling the pattern that was on the stencil, and I went, that's boring. I love this one. Actually, I love this one just as it is. Okay, so then what I started to do is I started to take pieces from each stencil, and I'll spread these out so you can see them. And I started to create different things so that when I'm, you know, out and about sitting in a waiting room or something, I can open this little journal and I'm already inspired by the shapes that I stenciled down. So let me just flip them over. Okay, so that one is one of her stencils, just like as it is. But the rest of them aren't. You see that? And that one is, so I'll leave that over. And that's the orange. I'm going to use that as a head. That's the eye from one stencil and the nose from another. And this is part of the orange, and this is the, I think she calls it seed pods or something. And look, this is part of the arrow. So they're so cute. So I'm going to do a bunch of them. I have about 20-some pages here, but as I said, I wanted to show you before I lost the light. So I'm going to come back in a minute and show you how I'm going to finish my book. I'm going to make it really simple. And I just thought that the border around there made it just look really more finished. And I could have done it later, but I wanted to do it now. I wanted to show you how cute it looks. So I'm going to gather up my cards. I'm going to punch holes in here and punch holes in my book, and I'll be back in a second and I'll show you how the book is going to look. All right, as per usual, it's getting later in the day and I'm losing my beautiful light, so I had to turn the lamps on. I'm sorry if there's any glare. I just wanted to show you we are finished. We are ready. Not totally finished, but we are ready to be finished. So I put some eyelets in my bingo cards and the front and back, and I used, just FYI, I used this beautiful crocodile. I love this. And then I poked the holes with my crocodile in my cards, and I have not only some ready to go to color, I have some blank ones in here as well. And I decided to put a blank one on the top, so the first page, and I think I might write my name, this book belongs to, or something like that. So I was going to use these rings, and they are extremely large. I thought I had smaller ones, so I wound up with this really pretty hand-dyed trim. So I'm just going to thread all of this, and I will come back in a second after it's, I'll come back in a second after it's threaded and show you the finished book. Alrighty, we're back, and we just wrapped this up. The book is finished. I think it came out adorable. Of course, you could embellish it if you like, but I am happy with it just as it is. And I am so glad that I finally got to use my beautiful bingo cards. And by the way, I have them in a larger size, other sizes, and they're in my Etsy shop if you're interested. So what I really like about this, and I put a blank page first, I'm going to put this book belongs to, but what I really like about this is that I have a hard back to lean on when I'm out, so that I can do my coloring, do my drawing, and the book just folds back on itself. So I have just a very small thing in my hand, and it will fit nicely in my purse with a few pens, and I am tickled to death. And doesn't it look cute as anything? So I'm going to leave the coloring part to you, and there you have it. I hope you'll make one of these books too, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed showing you my project, and I hope you have a blessed day full of love and recycled art, and I will see you again very soon. And don't forget to go to Gina's Etsy shop and check out her beautiful line of stencils. And she's got some brand new stamps and stencils for the new year. So don't forget to check those out, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.